she can tell me. Yes. Oh, still in her heart. She's 7.
You just helped somebody because you helped me too. What you got? Well, hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Mommy Mondays. Listen, y'all, usually I would say Mondays are so rough. I always struggle to get here, but today was smooth. Amen. Amen for smooth Mondays, okay? Listen, I am super excited to have you all join. Thank you so much for being here. Go ahead, click the subscribe button, like, share. You can go ahead and start commenting if you want. But listen, do all the things. I love having you here, loving having you be a part of the family. And listen, if you're catching the replay right now, thank you so much. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for tuning in. You didn't have to do that, but you did. So we appreciate you and we welcome you and welcome you again. Okay, listen, I am super excited about tonight's conversation, but before we jump in, don't forget the Walker Family Scholarship is live and in full effect. I am a graduate of the Alabama State University, and my family has put together a scholarship for graduate students. Y'all know how hard it is for graduate students to get money. Okay, listen. Undergraduate is money everywhere. You start working on that master's and that PhD, it's a little harder. So we decided we want to do something about it. We know how we less struggle. So we want to add some value to some students' lives. So listen, if you would like to give, you can connect with me on Instagram or Twitter. The link in my bio will guide you to everything. It gives you all the details to be able to do so. Listen, tonight is going to be good. It's going to be good, okay? I have a friend, a sister, a mom, a wife, a business owner. I mean, she does all the things. And on top of that, y'all, like just to add the extra cherry on top, she's a military spouse. Now, let me tell you something about military spouses. They skin tougher than the actual soldier because they the ones that's really holding it down. Trust me, I know. I'm a veteran. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful, the smart, the talented, the educated, one of the best moms on this planet, best wives on this planet, the amazing Miss Zavier. Hello, beautiful. How are you doing?
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on tonight. I have been looking forward to this all day.
Listen, it's something about the nighttime. It's like, okay, the kids doing their thing and I get some time to myself and I get to talk about them. Okay, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. And we must give a shout out to your son. I said he was the first person on. He was like, I'm not missing my mama. I'm not gonna miss it. I'm gonna make sure she know I'm here. So
listen, they all in separate rooms. Everybody's watching it on their own little devices. I'm like, yes, cheer for mommy.
Yes, and yes. So listen, we're gonna jump on in because y'all, this conversation gonna be so good. If we run long, it's okay. Whoever decide to stay, they stay. Whoever don't, bye-bye. Okay, that's totally fine. Okay. So listen, we're going to start with you just telling people who you are, what you do, and why you do it so they can understand why you're here.
Well, I am Zavier Mclester. I am the wife of an Air Force service member. I am the mom of 3 fabulous teenagers, love them to the end. And I am the proud owner of the Assist Virtual Solutions, which is a virtual assistant agency. And I help small business owners and coaches maximize their time and get some of their personal time back.
Listen, because don't we all need it?
Yes. I say that. Outsource it out.
Listen, outsource it. Listen, so people be trying to figure out how to make room on their schedule. You have to disseminate some things. You
got to delegate out. You want your life back? You got to delegate a few things.
Yes. And listen, we'll get to your business, but we're going to start with the good stuff first. Listen.
Yes.
Listen.
You
are a wife and mother to teenagers. First, let's start there.
Yes.
I'm going to take a deep breath for you because I'm not ready. My cousin has teenagers and we have some conversations and I just be like, what happened? What happened? I don't understand. How did that happen? Tell us a little bit about what it's like to navigate the space as a teen mom. because I know teen moms, I can talk about toddlers all day. My kids
Mhm.
are 2, 6, and 7. But navigating the space as a teen military mom, because I know y'all move and there's
Mhm.
school changes and they have opinions and all of those types of things. What is that like right now?
It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I prepped them pretty well for the move, and what it's done is made them very, very resilient. Military brats, they're some of the most resilient kids you will ever meet. They don't meet any strangers. They don't have any problems putting themselves out there. It does get tough because everybody wants to belong. Everybody wants to have a sense of home. And when you talk to them, like, simple question, where are you from? They're like, everywhere? Not quite sure. But they also know on the flip side too that it's some experiences that they've had that sometimes even their family members never get to have those experiences. So it's catch-22, but they do pretty good with it. They're pretty strong, resilient kids. Oh, I can't hear you.
What about now?
There you are.
I muted myself. Sorry about that. I know that right now it's been a big deal for a lot of people, just with going to school because of COVID. Being able to be in a physical building. What's the difference right now on the basis? Because I know that they have protocols in place for different things. So what is it like? What is life like for your teenagers being able to go to school right now? When technically we are still in a pandemic.
We actually just, maybe about 2 weeks ago, we just moved from California back to Georgia, and just going from one state to the other, rules is totally different. California is still having mask mandates, and they have the plexiglasses up in the classrooms, things like that. My middle son, he's a 10th grader now. He didn't go back to school until the beginning of his 10th grade year, maybe the end of his 9th. So he's just now getting into high school, and he's a 10th grader now. My youngest son, he's in 8th grade now. This is his first time in middle school.
Wow.
So yeah, Georgia is a lot different. It's a lot more relaxed. It's a lot more relaxed than where we moved from.
Well, we was open the whole pandemic. We never closed.
Y'all were out there.
Mm-hmm. We was open the whole pandemic. We never closed, clubs and all.
It was funny. We go to register the kids in school, and then we're like, okay, so what's the policy on masks? They're like, masks. I'm like, oh, they like whatever your comfort level. I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah, welcome to Georgia. You back? Welcome back. Let me say welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome back to Georgia. You left the West Coast and came to the East Coast.
I did.
Culture shock.
Very.
Culture shock. And I know that there's a lot of shift and transition that happens just in general for spouses. Mm-hmm. When the shift and the change and the transition happens. What has it been like trying to make sure your soldier is good and make sure you are good as you transition?
I try to hold it together as best I can, but I have my moments. I do. And my husband, he's known me, we've been together since we were 17. So
yes, I know.
Yeah, he can. It's like he's like a little twitch. You get you sure you're okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, you sure? No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure about anything. Like, okay, we got this. But for the most part, like, we've done whole year deployments away from each other, and we don't miss a beat. We don't miss a beat. It's all about that system. You got to have that system and the communication. I mean, we probably talk more than anybody I know. I mean, like, the smallest things. And then there's a family group chat. So everybody's in there. Everybody's voicing their opinions, their concerns, their jokes. So everybody pulls their weight, and we all do our part, and we just get it done.
Yeah. And I know for me, as the veteran. I was on the opposite side of things, and my husband would be like, "You have no idea. You have no idea." One of my stipulations for us getting married was for him to make it through my deployment.
Well, that's a big one.
We got engaged, and I was getting ready to deploy. I said, "Well, you make it through this deployment, I'll marry you."
Wow.
And he was like, "Okay." And then when I made it back, he was like, "Whew."
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was one of the stipulations.
Yep.
Well, I said yes, if we make it through this deployment.
And I didn't put any stipulation hours because we had been dating for a while, and then he got tasked with his first long tour, a year assignment, and we had already had kids by then or what have you. And then that was what it was like, okay, we need to do this. We have to do this. And I was like, okay.
It's a little bit easy when you like, oh, I have to do this. Okay, all right, no problem. I can do this.
He's like, it's just a thing. And it was what it was for us. It was the love has always been there. Like I said, it's my high school sweetheart. We have been together forever. It's my best friend. But we were still real young. I think we got married when we were 22-ish. We were already 2 kids in. And it was just one of those things where when you're going for that long and you're going to such a questionable environment, nobody wants to think about that part of it.
Right.
Nobody wants to think about, I might not make it back.
Right.
And, those are things. And for him to think about me and the kids and want to make sure, just in case, you got a second, third order effects. He's always saying second, third order effects. So just in case something go left, y'all are going to be straight.
Yeah. And that's a big, I remember my first tour when they made me sign my insurance. And I was like, why is it this much? They was like, well, if you die, wait, what you mean? Conversations and thought processes that, I didn't think about beforehand. I just thought about serving my country, let's rewind here for a second. I didn't have the money to graduate college. So, I joined the military to cover my tuition, not thinking it all the way through. I was just a college student, just trying to figure it out. And then in the process of signing with my recruiter, who didn't lie to me, but just didn't tell me everything, going through the process, I literally cried.
Wow.
I left. I came back. I called my parents one more time. I was like, y'all don't have no money. Can somebody help me? And nobody could help me. Nobody could help me do anything. I left. I came back. I left. I came back again. And literally my contract that I signed was covered in tears. And that's the name of the book that I'm working on, Contract Covered in Tears.
Wow.
Because I literally wept over my military contract that I signed. And though a very tough decision to make for me as a single person without having to be concerned about a spouse or children, I was heartbroken. I never saw myself going into the military. Initially leaving Douglas, I had joined the military and then I changed my mind. So I went to college. And so going back, leaving college, I was like, dang, I'm back to this again. Oh, I should just did it the first time. But just the idea that he considered you enough, loved you enough to say, hey, I want to make sure that no matter what happens, you guys are good. And at this point, you guys are 20 years in. Am I wrong?
Very, very close. Very, very close. 16, 17, 18.
18 years in.
Yep.
Yeah. 18 years in, what is it? What's the one thing you can say, I still love this about him? What is it?
His heart. He just has a heart for people, his family. He has a heart for his airmen. Him and the military, it's not that he's just, like, as they say, drunk the blue Kool-Aid or anything like that. That guy just loves people. He loves to take care of the airmen. That's where he gets his joy. That's his job satisfaction. That's him. He's going to take care of everybody. If he can fix it, he will.
Mm.
And you don't find people like that. They're hard to come by. I'm telling you, I would not go back into this new age dating nonsense to say you can't pay me enough. They just don't,
Ooh,
they don't make people like that
they
anymore.
don't.
They just don't. Hearts like that, just pure genuine hearts like that. They're hard to come by.
Yeah, they really are. And it's such a beautiful thing, because I know the numbers, because I've seen the stats of divorce rates in the military, specifically for Black and brown people, the number and the alarming rates of
Yes.
divorce. Um, because people just believe, the memes and things you see where every man cheats, every man, and that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. Let me just state it here. I'm raising my right hand like I'm in the military all over again. But let me just be very clear in saying that my husband and Zavier's husband are amazing men.
Mm-hmm.
They love their families.
Mm-hmm.
They love their children. They're great fathers. They're
Amazing.
great friends. They're great people. And the idea that every man cheats or that every man does this, let's put it in the air quotes, whatever this is, that every man does that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not real. And it's an unfortunate characteristic that they place on Black men in
Yeah.
general,
Mm-hmm.
that they are people who do this type of thing. But I believe in uplifting every king that I find that is doing what he's supposed to do. And if he's not doing what he's supposed to do, it's not my job to tear him down.
Right. Right.
Not my job to tear him down at all. And so what do you think what role do you think being in the military has played on you being a mother? I know you have your family and your friends who have made great contributions to who you are as a person.
Yeah.
What elements and aspects of you being a military wife have played a significant part of the way you mother your children?
It's forced me not to sugarcoat anything with them. Like we have to have tough discussions all the time. Like when it comes down to moving and PCSing and things that we want to do. Because we grew up with our kids. Our oldest is 16, so they've been through this whole thing the entire time. They've been through it with us. So we have to have discussions with them. We talk about everything from we've taken them with us to buy cars. We've taken them on our debt-free journey. We have talked to them about whether or not if daddy decides to try to go for this position, this may mean that we may have to go overseas and live. How do you all feel about that? We've given them a voice. While we want to let them know that they are heard, that their opinions matter, and that they have brains and they can use them. So I think that it's made me kind of treat my kids like little bitty adults.
Yeah.
I didn't really have a choice, and that started even when they were little. Being by myself, being away from the support system and things. It started with okay, now let's practice our colors. We're gonna pick out all the clothes that's white. Show me all the red. I have pictures of my kids like 5 years old folding laundry on their bed. Like I've just had to teach them at an early age what it is to stand on their own morals, their own beliefs, and just be their own little independent humans.
Yeah. And that's so important because we're in a space and day and age where children, as young as 6 and 7 years old are committing suicide,
Yeah.
because they feel like they don't have a voice and they're unable to speak up. So it's a beautiful thing that you're teaching your children the importance of holding space for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
being able to speak up for themselves, say whatever it is that they feel, and be able, actually being able to communicate that. You run into, so many children who don't know how to communicate with it. How do you feel? I don't know. Or maybe they don't talk, or they cower, or weep, or, just unable to verbalize
Mm-hmm.
what it is they feel. And I think it's so important that you're teaching your kids the importance of communicating what they're feeling, but also in a sense, understanding that I have a right to feel whatever it is that I feel, because even some adults struggle with understanding that they have a right to feel. and they also have a right to verbalize how they feel about things.
Yeah.
You know, you work in a space as a virtual assistant where you are encountering all types of people. You know, what type of clients do you work with when it comes down to providing care for them? Because I know we all, well, let me narrow it down for you. What type of client do you say no to? Because all money is not good money.
Oh, no, ma'am, it is not. I don't do well with people who don't have a clear vision for themselves. I can't write the vision for you. That's your job. I'm here to help you execute it. So yeah, if you're just unclear all over the place, disorganized, it's not going to be a good client working relationship with us, because I have my own chaos that I have to organize. I can't help you work through yours as well. That's not my ministry. It's not my ministry.
Listen, but I'm gonna take it a step further. You shouldn't even be friends with people who don't have clear vision.
Hello? We got a classmate that said something one day on a live, and she spoke to my spirit. Shout out Corian inside the Goddess Room.
Woo!
She said clarity prevents chaos.
Yes, she did. I was on that live.
Spoke to my spirit.
She did. Oh, I've been trying to get Corianne to come on here. You know, she be busy, but
Corey,
she drops some,
girl.
she
You
drops some
jewels.
gems.
You drop
But
jewels.
yes, clarity. Now, people who have been hanging with me since I started ministry know that my phrase, I even had shirts made that said clarity is so important. Clarity. It's something about it. It's something about clarity.
Teacher in beauty school, she used to say, in all thine getting, get an understanding. Got to get one.
Yeah, people don't know. I mean, beauty school, people don't know all of your trades. I've watched you on your journey, so people don't know all of your trades. Zavier did makeup and all kinds of stuff, honey. Tell them all the tea. Tell them all the tea.
Listen, I started off at Georgia Southern. I thought I wanted to be a teacher. I lied to myself. I lied to everybody. One for me. So I came on back. I went to LaCordon Blue College of Culinary Arts. So I was a certified chef. Did that for a little while I was still in Atlanta. Got married to a high school sweetheart, moved away. There was not a space for what I had to offer in my new small town. Took a break, stayed at home with my kids for a little while. Said, I think I want to go to beauty school. I like this makeup thing. I like this hair thing. Went to beauty school, started working in salons, did a lot of bridal makeup, a little bit of celebrity makeup here and there. Moved again to an even smaller town. There was not a space for what I had to offer. Took all of those transferable skills and went back into restaurant management and administration. Did that for about 3 years. Moved again to a bigger town. There was not a space for me for what I was doing previously. Took all of those administrative roles that I had been doing in other positions, transferable skills, and I became an executive assistant at the hospital on the base for the group commander. Actually, I started off in a squadron, and within a year and a half, I was promoted up to the group. Moved back to a small little town, Warner Robins. But I'm virtual assistant. I'm taking my talents and I'm doing it for myself now.
Yeah. Listen, what I heard. Don't move too fast, Holy Spirit. I ain't got time for that. The downloads be happening too fast. I'm having to tell Lord, slow down. Slow down, Lord, so I can gather it all. What I heard was increase. Because every time you said there wasn't space for what you did previously, and you didn't have a choice but to do something else. See, God allows us to gather all these skills.
Wow.
Allows us to gather all these skills. And sometimes we be like, what am I going to do with this? But I'm sure you be throwing down in the house. Because
I do a little bit here.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got a whole Shelf certification.
I
So
do a little bit.
I'm sure you throw down in the house. I'm sure your self-care when you get to it is top notch because you've been to beauty school. I'm sure the way you taught and cared for your daughter because of that beauty school, hair, makeup, and all of that. It's good. And he knew. He said, I'm gonna have to make room for her because see, she's gonna have to do it on her own. This executive, and let me tell y'all something. What she said about being able to progress quickly in the ranks as a civilian, not common.
Yeah.
Not common. Let me just be clear as the soldier who used to see the civilians, the same ones for a long time, who worked forever.
In 3 years at my one of my bases, the base before the last one, in less than 3 years, I came in, no experience, never been GS before. Came in as a GS7, and then within a year and a half, maybe 2, I ended up promoted up to a 9. So
yeah, that's a big deal.
That was something.
People don't realize how many steps is in between them.
Oh, it's a lot.
And it's a lot of steps.
Lots.
They got like 7.1, 7.2.
It's a lot in there.
They don't realize how many steps there are in between there. And that's such a beautiful thing to see how God has always made room for you in the midst of transition, especially with what your husband is doing and the space that he navigates. And I know that you're in a season now where you are running your virtual assistant business and doing what it is that you love and you have a passion for. And I know we know the type of client that you won't work with because we talked about that a little bit earlier. But what's your ideal client? The person that you just love to work with because they make things so easy.
I like coaches, business coaches, career coaches, any social media coaches, anybody that's out there teaching classes, offering services that's helping to better women and women of color, especially, that really have a heart for helping them, because it's like, okay, we on a team, we got the same goals. Help me, help you, so we can all help them get to the next level. Those are my ideal clients. Those are the ones that I find I work best with. They already have their vision written out. We get together and we execute flawlessly.
And outside of business, because I don't want to stick on the business too long. Outside of business, I know that since you are growing your kids up in the midst of what you're doing, what entrepreneurial traits are your kiddos picking up since they see you running your own business now?
I have to tell you, my daughter is her daddy's child. I don't know if you remember back then they sell them snacks in high school.
If any teachers watching, we plead the fifth.
We sorry.
We plead the fifth.
We picked that up pretty fast. So she took that. She made it her own. She elevated it. But what got me was she made her little money, and she took it and she would flip it. She would invest it into other little things. Like, she's gonna make her some money. She's gonna find her a way to make her some money. Whether it's, I don't always condone what she do, but I don't let her work. She got straight A's. She's taking like AP class and stuff. I really want her to, do what she does. She on track, but she's like, I need money. Do
you all do allowance?
She'll get a little bit. She knows if she asks for something, she can get what she wants, but it's not enough for what
she want to do.
16-year-old girl. She likes sneakers.
Oh.
She likes things.
Okay. No, I get it.
Oh yeah. So I was like, you know what? I can't knock your hustle, sweetheart. I can't knock it.
Well, I'm not promoting it because they surely aren't giving me a check. But I won't say their name. But we do utilize a service. My 2-year-old has one too. He just doesn't use it. With my 2, 6, and 7-year-old, where we can give them allowance, like $1 for clean their room. They little kids. They don't know the difference yet. Okay. except for my 7-year-old. She'd be like, "Mommy, $1 for cleaning my room, but I have to do all this."
I love her.
Yeah, so it's different. We had to increase hers because she was like, "Wait a minute, no, this is $1, this is $1." Okay, but we use this service and we can pay them for allowance. But with this same service, they can invest in stock. They can save money. They can set up money to spend for games or whatever it is they want to do, and we can share it with family members. So for Christmas this year, because my children are learning how to be tidy, learning how to clean up, we are not accepting toys or anything this year. So I told everybody, if you'd like to give them something for Christmas, here's their access information and you can send them money. We are not doing any more toys because they don't like to clean their room. So it's even really good for that because we can share with other people for them to be able to give to them as well. And so we like it. I'll send it to you in private because they ain't paying me. So
I understand that. Yeah, they got that. You got her on like she made enough money between all of her little gigs she does because she's
her side hustles.
Her and her brother, they are certified babysitters. So she has taken all of her money between her side hustles, her babysitting, her birthday, and her Christmas, and she had a substantial amount saved. I was just so proud of her. I was like, okay, now we can walk in this bank together and let's fill out this paperwork. And now you have your own savings account and you have your checking account and you keep a certain amount in your checking account for what you need. I buy her and all of them what they need and some of what they want. But sometimes we're out and she has a card on her and stuff. She's like, oh, I like this. And I'm like, okay.
Go ahead.
Where's your card? You 16, baby. You got maybe 2 years left before you got to go away.
Yeah.
Be there.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I said, mine's 6 and 7. And I told him, I said, well, mommy, what do we have? No. Mommy will buy you clothes, shoes, make sure you get your hair is, toothbrush, toothpaste, your basic needs.
Right.
And sometimes if you want something, we're going out to eat and we said for this week we weren't eating out, but we go out, I'm buying. That was my choice. As mama says I didn't cook. But let's say I already cooked dinner and you say, Mommy, I want Chick-fil-A. Absolutely. Where your card at?
You got Chick-fil-A money?
Absolutely. I already cooked dinner. But if you don't want, because now some people don't go with me on this. They're like, if I cook and you don't want what I eat, that's fine. I'm not making nothing else. I'm not making nothing else. You can eat what we have. Or if you want something else, and maybe your daddy willing, because I'm not driving over.
I understand that.
Your daddy is willing, then you get. But the other thing too is my kids. See, technology is my kids are like, but Mama, what about DoorDash?
Oh,
what about Uber Eats?
Oh.
So they are very savvy, and so they're to the point where they're like, okay, yeah, Mommy, I would like Chick-fil-A. Can you order me some Chick-fil-A through DoorDash?
Oh, clutches pearls.
6 and 7. Okay,
you got your hands full over there. We didn't have those back then. It was McDonald's at the house.
Listen, peanut butter and jelly in a brown paper bag at the park. Okay. Yep. So, I think that it's a beautiful thing that your daughter has this intuition within her to say, you know what, I want to save, I want things, and just learning about the process of how it all works and you being able to be there for her. And I know a lot of people talk about the dynamic of mothers and daughters. What is your relationship like? Your mother-daughter dynamic, and what's the dynamic between you and your mom, and what role did that relationship play in the way you're raising your daughter?
So I'll start with me and my mom. I gave my mom a hell. I'm not even I can't even flex on y'all. Mama, if you watching, I'm sorry.
G3.
You didn't deserve all that, baby. I was a heathen, but
this is your public apology, Mama. She
just on me, Mama. But I gave her. It was always love there. I could always talk to my mom about everything. I was just battling my own internal demons from during my teenage years. From the time I was like, probably 7th grade up until I was like 16 years old. I was hell on wheels. I lost my dad in the 7th grade. And then I turned around and I lost my grandmother when I was 15. And I was really, really close to my grandmother. That was actually my mom's mom. And I was her first grandchild. So, that first grandbaby, that was my heart. So I started acting out real, real bad. Real, real bad.
I don't remember this, Zavier. I don't remember this.
I was quiet. I was quiet with mine.
You were.
My cousin say, she said, you wasn't a hood rat. You was a hood mouse. You just kind of, a little bit. Just a little bit. They say real G's move in silence.
Oh, okay.
I kept mine to myself. I went out. Nah, but I wasn't just horrible. Like I wasn't like juvie bad or anything.
But you just, you did some things.
I did some things that was, I make a lot of questionable decisions as a teenager. And I know it was because I was acting out, I was hurting and things like that. And my mom, she never gave up on me or anything like that. She was always there whenever I wanted to talk. She was always there to listen. My relationship with her didn't really get better, I think, until I transferred to Doug my junior year. I came from Grady and I transferred in. It's because I just for some reason I just didn't want to be at that school, but she made me go, and that was a lot of resentment that I had with her about making me go somewhere I didn't want to go. I want to go to Doug. She had already made me go to Emmy. Didn't want to go there either. But I'm, hey girl.
Hey girl. Well, Shan was at Grady with you.
Yeah.
So we had that transition there. I remember that transition where everybody was like, "Oh, Zavier coming to Doug."
Oh God, I know.
Hilarious. Well, in what ways? I know you said you gave your mom a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I'd say that.
What contributed to you are now?
My daughter don't give me no trouble. Like she used to tell me, she was like, "You gonna get yours?" Parents is like, "Ooh, you have a little girl." I didn't get that. My brother here is like, "How, with all that you did, how did you get the daughter that you got?" I'm like, "She's blessed."
Favor.
Hello. No, she's my best friend, my little broke best friend. We do everything together. We grew up together. I had her when I was 19 years old. We went through this thing called life together every step of the way. She's been right there with me, and I take her along for the journey. Anything I'm working on within reason, age appropriate, but it's like, hey, come on, come see what I'm working on. And because of that, she's like, Mom, what do you think about this? Well, what do you think about that? We go everywhere together. We do everything together. We laugh, we joke. We have a mom when she comes down. It's just a giant like sisterhood. It's phenomenal, and it's hard, parents, daughters, sisterhood, things like that. But it is. It's because she's growing up to be a Black woman,
right?
And she needs to know that there are other Black women out there that are not going to hate on you. They're going to support you. They're going to support your dreams. And that sisterhood starts with your family, your cousins, your sister, your mama, your grandma. Those are your first sisterhood, your first network of women, especially women that look like you. That's your first network. So if you see discord and things like that, then what you going to expect when you get on the outside?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's good because, pledging a sorority. Pledging a sorority. You have women from all over the world. You don't get to control where these people come from.
Mm.
And some of them, in having bad dynamics or bad relationships with that initial circle, like you said, mom, sister, cousin, aunts, or whatever, who weren't uplifting them, they come into this space where they desire sisterhood, but they don't know how to be sisterly. Because it's not something that they learned. It's not something that they saw. So they say things like, "Oh, I don't get along with females. I don't do females. I don't do, females are messy. Women are messy." Are they? Or is that just what you saw?
Right.
Are they, we like to use the word always. We like to use permanent talk for temporary situations.
Right. Well, I had to get that off of me, or I had to quit speaking that on me. I was one of those people.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't do females. And that's just because I've just always been a shy, introverted person. I've never been one to just put myself out there. So it wasn't nobody ever did anything bad to me. It's just that I was just too afraid of rejection to put myself out there. So I was one. No, I don't need no friends. I'm good. I got the same best friend for 20 plus years. I'm good. I don't need nothing else. I got my husband. I don't need nothing else. And I had to realize I had a situation where I lost some people that I had high hopes for, being some friends. It went left, and I had to look back and look at myself and feel like, what did I invite into my life?
Good question.
What was my part in this? What did I invite into my life? And I had to look back and reach like, you know what? You spoke that negative. You spoke death to that situation. You did that. So I had to get that off me. I have vowed. You're not going. I want to be in the presence of those that want to be in my presence. Like I have to rephrase it, rework it, because that life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Yes, a lot of people don't realize, man, you listen to the devotion all the time. So I speak about this a lot, just the importance of what we say to ourselves and what we're saying to others and what we're saying out loud. It matters so much what we're placing in the atmosphere. Oh, I'll never be good enough. You won't, because you just said it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm not strong enough, or I can't, or I won't. No, you gotta change that wording out. I can, I will, I must, I'm better, I'm growing, it will change, I will change, I'm flexible. You have to be open and ready and willing to receive, from all areas of life. Mm-hmm. But listen, we've been here almost 45 minutes. So I know. So I would like for you to share three things from marriage, three things from business, three things as a mom, whatever areas you want, top three things that if somebody missed this whole live and they just get this part, what are three things that you would like to share?
Let's see, three things that I would like to share with marriage. It's your heart. Your heart has got to be open. Your heart has got to be open to love, to laugh, to learn, to communicate, to forgive. It's all about the heart. With parenting, take your kids with you. How they gonna learn how to navigate this world if they never see you do it? Don't hide nothing from those babies. Take them with you through that journey. They'll be stronger and wiser and more prepared when they do finally leave the nest. Mm-hmm. And it's let's see, what's the last one? In business, there may not be space for you where you at, but the Lord will always make room for you.
That's good. That's sign still deliver right there. Well, as always, y'all, I am so grateful to be able to spend a little bit of time with you all on Mondays. Some of these we're gonna have to do a part two. Because with the 45 minutes just goes by so fast. I was
so nervous in the beginning. I'm like, well, I was just getting going.
We just got going. Yeah. 45 minutes goes by so fast. But listen, I am so grateful for you, Zavier. Thank you so much for being here and being, like Pastor Michael Todd calls it, hot. He calls it hot, humble, open, and transparent.
Yes, love him.
About who you are, what you're doing, and why you do it. Listen, before we go, as always, I always close out with the same prayer everywhere. Clubhouse, Twitter, Instagram, and my Mondays. I close out in the same space. So I pray that God gives you the clarity that you need, and that in all things, your mind will think of him, your eyes will see him, your mouth will speak of him, your ears will hear him, your heart will beat for him, the blood flowing through your veins is of him, your hands will be lifted to worship him, and you will walk within the footsteps that he has designed. And anytime you lay down to rest, that you will awaken, refreshed, renewed, and restored. Thank you guys so much for being here with me and Zavier. I appreciate you all. This has been Mommy Mondays. Bye-bye.
wish you could feel it. Yes. Oh, still more heart. She's 7.
You just helped somebody because you helped me too. What you got?